Student friends, in yesterday's lecture we studied the merits and demerits of AM and FM. That is, advantages and disadvantages of AM and FM, or we can say that distinguishing points between AM and FM. In that we have covered that FM has a quite clarity, less noise. One can reduce the noise in FM further, which is not possible in case of AM. In case of FM, bandwidth required will be more. In case of AM, bandwidth required will be less. For long distance communication, AM is preferred. For short distance communication, FM can be absolutely used. In FM, power level remains constant. In AM, power level varies. In FM, frequency changes. In AM, amplitude changes. So these are some differentiating points which we observed in yesterday's lecture. Along with that, we have studied the concept of few digital modulation types. One is ASK, another one is FSK. In ASK, shift of amplitude that takes place as the input binary signal changes from 0 and 1. It is called as on-off keying also. In frequency shift keying, two carrier frequencies are used. One carrier frequency is going to present for input 0 and another carrier frequency is going to present when input is 1 by turning off previous carrier frequency. With these two type of digital modulation concepts, we are going to study further one more type of digital modulation, and that is known as PCM. PCM means pulse code modulation. Friends, in general, digital modulation, what we can observe is analog signal is transmitted by varying the characteristics of pulse. But general characteristics of pulse are varied in accordance with that of analog signal. Means as amplitude of analog signal changes, the characteristics of pulse widths are going to be changed according to the shift of carrier wave that takes place, either in the form of amplitude or in the form of frequency, as we have studied in yesterday's lecture. In case of pulse code modulation, the analog signal is first sampled at a particular instant of time, and that sampled signal is rounded off to certain fixed value, and this process of rounding off the signal level is known as the quantization. There are various quantization levels are going to be existing. If suppose levels are equally spaced, then those levels are called as uniform quantization level. Dear students, this is a simple principle that is used in pulse code modulator. What are the steps involved? First one is we have to take a sample of analog signal at a particular instant of time, obviously by clamping the analog signal, because analog signal is varying between positive, negative and 0. If you clamp the signal to the positive level, the signal is varying between only on positive side. That means a proper biasing technique is used. Biased clamping technique, by using that, DC is introduced in this particular analog signal and then it is clamped at one of the end, and then its samples are to be taken for a various instant of the time. The sampled signal is then rounded off to the particular quantizing level, and then it is used for the purpose of transmission, and this is the general aspect that is used in case of pulse code modulation. When we see details of the same, we can say generally sampled signal is transmitted by varying the characteristics of standard pulse, but in PCM, that is pulse code modulation, sampled signal is rounded off to its nearest value. That is the peculiarity of pulse code modulation. The process of rounding off the signal is known as the quantization, and the possible levels are known as quantizing levels. If these levels are equally spaced, then there exists the uniform quantization. This means what? The signal to be transmitted is first sampled and given to the quantizer for rounding off. Then they are coded into the binary groups. Means first sampling is done, then quantizations are done, and then it is encoded into 0 and 1. How those are coded? 1 for on and 0 for off. This is the coding. Each pulse group is quantized the level of binary number. The maximum number of pulse in a group depends upon the quantization levels. N-bit code has 2 raised to n quantizing levels. If code is of n bit, which is required to be transmitted, then quantizing levels will be 2 raised to n. Means if 3-bit code is there, then quantizing levels are 2 raised to 3. 8 levels are present. That is from 000 to 111. Actual signal, analog signal has a positive and negative levels. This can be improved by adding the DC level bias to the signal so that it remains in only on positive side. Means DC level is introduced, that means the analog signal is clamped to the positive side. And then samples are taken and then rounding off the signal is done. Other problem is variation in amplitude of the speech requires large number of quantizing levels. This is solved by amplitude compressor circuit to reduce the large peaks, quantizing levels for given accuracy, and reduces channel bandwidth. With variation of the amplitude levels of the speech is the problem to produce the quantizing levels, which can be solved by using amplitude compressor circuit that reduces the large peaks to given accuracy, which may reduce the channel bandwidth. In receiver, expander brings the compressor signal back to the original form. Means prior in the modulation process, the signal is compressed to increase the accuracy and reduce the channel bandwidth. But to bring that in the original form, expander is used in the receiver so that it is in decoded form, in the required amplitude form. Actually, this is the method that is used. Here, this is the analog signal which is clamped on positive side. Actual analog signal is varying between this is 0 and then negative. Actually, signal varies like this from 0, maximum peak, again 0 and back to negative. Okay. So this is the actual signal. Now whatever it is here it represented, it is a clamped analog signal on the positive side. DC level is introduced so that the analog signal is clamped on the positive side. No variation below 0th level. After that, samples are taken for the different time intervals. This is the sample for time equal to 0. This is the sample for time equal to t. This is the sample for time is equal to 2t. This is the sample for time is equal to 3t. Accordingly, sample signals are obtained. This is the sample signal. This is again sample signal. This is the sample signal. This is 0. Here no samples are taken. That remember. So as a being here no samples are taken, those are to be treated as the negative off condition. Here it is 1. On this case, if the signal is 1, okay, those are to be represented. Accordingly, at a various interval of time, the different samples are taken. These samples which are taken are provided to the quantization level. Here are the quantization levels. These quantizing levels are encoded in the binary number. What are the quantization levels? 3, we are representing in 3-bit number. If it is represented in 3-bit number, naturally 0 to 7, that is 8 quantizing levels are existing. If suppose encoding is to be done in 4-bit, then 2 raised to 4, 16 quantizing levels are going to be gets managed. So that is what we can call it as the quantization, and quantized levels are going to be coded into the group of binary bits. So this is what the pulse code modulation means. First of all, sample is to be taken at different interval of time. This, whatever sample it is took, it is quantized and then it is encoded. Let us proceed further. Same is the signal is biased by DC voltage so that it doesn't become negative. This signal is sampled at a fixed interval of time T0 to T5 as it is represented in the sampling aspect. This is T0, T22, 3T, 4T, 5T, like that. And signal input at these instants are converted into binary. Suppose at T0 sample amplitude is 1. Equalizing level for 4-bit code is 001. At T2 signal amplitude is 10. Then it is 1010. These are the transmitted during sampling interval of the channel. Narrow pulse width are used, resulting increase in bandwidth. If positive and negative pulses are employed for 1 and 0, ternary PCM train is produced. Depends upon sampling aspect, whether it is 1 or 0, the signal is encoded. And for that purpose, the hardware circuitry we are studying in the form of the block diagram. So that includes low pass filter, sampler, quantizer, encoder as an aspect of transmitter. Analog signal to be provided is given to the low pass filter, which has a sharp cutoff frequency, so that only required analog signal is going to be filtered out. It is given to the sampler, as already discussed. DC, after introducing the DC level, samples are taken at a different interval of time, say T0, T1, T2, T3, T4, T5. Those sampled signals are given to the quantizer, where the quantizing level is going to be gets decided. Depends upon the number of bits which are going to be gets included. This quantized signal is given to the encoder. It is coded into binary and pulse code modulated signal is available. While in receiver, pulse code modulated signal is given to the decoder, because in transmitter it is already encoded. Decoded means binary signal will be going to be converted into analog signal. Then in transmitter, signal is compressed to reduce the bandwidth and to increase the accuracy. It is now expanded in the original form. It is low pass filter, and again original analog signal is going to be obtained. That means the PCM transceiver system includes transceiver, means this is a transmitter, whereas this one is a receiver. Combinedly, it is called as transceiver. Includes the low pass filter with cutoff frequency half of the sampling rate frequency, sampler, quantizer and encoder to get PCM pulse type. At receiver, pulses are decoded and converted into analog signal. High frequency pulses are attenuated by low pass filter. The bandwidth of pulse code modulation depends upon highest frequency in the analog signal and number of bits in the pulse code modulated signal. For 32 kHz signal, sampling rate is 8 kHz. And for system of 128 quantizing levels, number of bits frequency required is 2⁷. That is 128. Final PCM signal have 7 into 8, that is 56 kilobits per second. With this rate, pulse code modulated signal is made available at the output. By this particular way, one can use pulse code modulation for transmission and reception of the analog signal. Next, we are going to study the concept of one more type of digital modulation, and that is pulse width modulation. Up till now, we have studied the pulse code modulation. Now we will shift a pulse width modulation. In this case, the width of pulse is changed in accordance with that of the amplitude of the sampled signal. What characteristics of square wave pulse is where it is width of pulse is changed in accordance with that of amplitude of the sampled signal. It is called as pulse duration modulation, PDM. It is also called as pulse length modulation. How width is changed? Either by changing the trailing edge or by changing the leading edge or by changing the both. Means you have to vary the trailing edge or you have to vary the leading edge of the pulse so that width is going to be changed. You are well aware with the pulse signal. Either you may increase the width by increasing the distance between trailing edge and leading edge, or by increasing the distance of one of the edge. You can change the width. So that property is being used according to the change in amplitude of the sampled signal. And this is what you can call it as, it is the pulse width modulation. Pulse width modulation is also called as pulse duration or pulse length modulation, PLM. Here leading edge, trailing edge or both are varied as a function of amplitude of the sampled signal, with the care that pulse do not overlap. It requires large average power and bandwidth. For K signal to be multiplexed and modulated frequency is the highest frequency of the signal, then maximum permissible pulse width without overlapping is delta t is equal to Kfm upon 2 seconds. This is the pulse width. Fm, it is a modulated frequency. K, it is number of signals to be multiplexed. This delta t decides the width of the signal. With the sine wave signal of amplitude, Em pulse width will vary as delta t into 1 plus Em sine of omega mt as a modulated signal train. EOT equal to sine of n into omega delta t upon 2 into 1 plus Em sine of omega t cos of omega n omega t. Such a pulse width modulation system consists of multivibrator, integrator, adder, clipper and Schmitt trigger. All these are the well-known circuitries for us which you have studied in last year. The signal to be modulated digitally, it is given to the adder. To the same adder, pulses from the integrator to which the multivibrator input is provided. Multivibrator is that particular circuitry that produces the pulse type of the waveforms. These are given to the integrator. Integrator converts that into the triangular wave and then it is given to the adder. Actually, sampled signal is given to the adder. Both are added, then it is given to the clipper. In the clipper, signal is clipped to the required DC level and that is given to the Schmitt trigger. Schmitt trigger generates a square wave. As per amplitude of the signal varies, integrator output decides either to increase trailing edge or to increase the leading edge so as to change the width of the Schmitt trigger output. Thus, either by changing the trailing edge or by changing the leading edge or by changing the both, one can change the width of output signal as per amplitude of the sampled signal changes. This is what we can call it as it is the pulse width modulation. Dear students, that's all about the two concepts which we have studied today. One is the concept of pulse code modulation and second one is the concept of pulse width modulation. Next time we'll go for another type of digital techniques, modulation techniques.